They put tape recorders here, so the following is a recorded announcement, I guess. Rabbi Omer, Ezehu Derech Yishara, Shir Yovo Yesodam, which is the Derech Yishara, Derech Hayosher, the proper path that a person should choose. Kol Shitziferes Leiseho, it earns him, the person himself, it earns him a credit himself, but upon him, and it earns him esteem in the eyes of his fellow man. That kind of anhogit. Vice Mishnah continues, the period continues, a mission from Hill, who are your Emer, Ein Buri Rechet, someone who's an uncultured person, completely uncultured, is a Rechet. It's not possible for him to fear, to have your Shema, to fear your punishment, but Amar's Chosid. And someone who's an Amoris is a little bit of it's a Hecher Madrege, somebody that has some culture, not totally unrefined, and not a very crude individual, so he can't be a Chosid. Someone who is afraid he'll suffer embarrassment, and as a result, he won't try to clear up something that's bothering him because he's afraid it'll show his ignorance. His ignorance will show, so it's a habaishin, so he'll never pick up the right yiddish hater, never pick up the right knowledge. And a very strict Rebbe cannot be a Melamed. He should not be a Rebbe. A person to pick out the proper path, we say like this, that each individual, a person, is actually three people. He's a person that he thinks he is, he's a person that people think he is, and then there's the person that he actually is. So it's three different individuals. I mentioned that Baba Rav Zechron Bracha, he was his George was last Thursday, so he always tried to make people not what they thought, what he thought they should, what they make them feel that that's what they are. It's always trying to pick up something, make them feel always bigger. We met one time with Baba, we met at a simcha, so he was introducing me. So he said, White Lake Rav, doctor, he said, grace runner. What's the grace on Evis? Okay, what's the grace runner? He said, when he comes to my Besmedrish, I give him the Mizrach seat, I give him my seat. So I said, Baba Rav, I said to him, what do I give away? You come in the winter when we're struggling on Shabbat, we're struggling for a minyan. So I give you my seat. I'm giving you away in front of 10 people, 12 people, maybe 15, maybe 20 will come on the Shabbos in the winter. But not more than that. If I would come to Boba would give me away, whereas 80 million or 800 people, some people not me there. That's supposed to have extra give. A captain, someone who's very, very strict, the Rebbe that's strict, so he has no place in the classroom. Chaim Brisker, when he was a young child learning a cheder, he was 7 years old, he came home one day and he told his father, Yeshiber, he says, I don't want to go to this Rebbe anymore to learn by him. He said, well, what happened? He said, well, there was a fight between two of his chaverim. One was a Yosem, an orphan, and one was the son of an arrogant Gevir, very wealthy Yid. So the Rebbe took the side of the Bocher that his father was a very prominent, very wealthy Yid, arrogant, very in the community. He said, it's for someone who doesn't have the heart and the feeling for Yosem, that there's nobody to take his side, I don't want to learn by a Rebbe like that. Rabbi Yoshi Berry, he listened to him, it was something that he couldn't just ignore. So he took him out and he put him in a different cheder. A while later, a year later or so, he was stricken, until the miracle medicine of penicillin was many times Rahman was fatal. Pneumonia. He was stricken with pneumonia. It was Farber V'chaim Lamovis. He had a high fever. He was in a coma, and only tefillas, only between the spell till that's the only thing that could rescue somebody in those days from pneumonia. So as a result, his mother, Yoshi Ber, and his father and his mother, he sat by his bed day and night. They heard him murmuring, speaking, saying something. They couldn't make it out what it was, but the conversation kept up for a while, and then the fever broke. Nisim, a big Yeshua, he recovered. When he recovered, they waited a while, and they asked him, they said, Chaim Kir, he said, could you recall, short while before you came out of a coma, you started to utter something, would you maybe recall what it was, what you were saying, but went on? He said, absolutely. He said, the Malach HaMavis was about to take his neshama, and in came between him and the Malach HaMavis, pushed his way in, was the father of that Ingele, that Yosem, and my classroom. And he stood there between the Malach HaMavis and me. He said, don't you dare lay a hand on him. He's the only one on this world that took my son's side. He said, and that's when the fever broke. So lo yakat melamed. There was the Manal, the principal of Bishanki, Rabbi Hellman. So one of the teachers brought him in a coffee one day in a Danish. So he liked the coffee, he enjoyed it very much. A while later she came by, saw the coffee cup is full, the Danish is not touched. She said to Rabbi Hellman, she said, what's the problem? Why aren't you eating the coffee? Something wrong with the coffee Danish? He says, no. He says, well, what's the problem? He says, he's fasting today. Why is he fasting? He says, there's a girl that they don't know what to do with her. She's a very bad influence in the school, and there's no other alternative, they seemed, but to take and to dismiss her from Bishako. But on the other hand, a girl is dismissed, that's a black mark. Later in life, it'll show up in a job, in a shidduch, something like that. He said that's something that's a very serious step to take. So I don't know what to do. So he says, I'm fasting today that Mer Shemaim, they should show me the right thing to do. So but the achrayus it is, when the neshama of a child is in your hands. I read in the classroom, there was a father and a mother. A father went with his son. He went to yeshiva one time for the bechina test, but you should accept him for Luzman. So they tested him. They said he's not up to par. They can't accept him. This man was beginning, and father was very upset. What's going to be? Where's he going to turn to? He has to start a class, start learning. So he and his son were walking home. They come Harogenbeigen, depressed, with Shivrei Lev, Tzibrochen, And as they're walking along, a neighbor of theirs who's far from Torah mitzvahs, from that lifestyle whatsoever, saw him with his head bent down. He said to him, why are you so depressed? What's he going to go tell a yid like that? Not Shabbos, not Yontif, not Yom Kippur. Tell him that he will tell them what the problem is. He said, that's what you're worried about? Go and dance. Well, who needs it? Well, yeah, he's not on the same wavelength, not on the same page. But for some reason, he told him. He said, I'm coming now from a yeshiva, and the principal tested him, and he said he's not up to par. So he said, what yeshiva was it? Azayid, he's going to do something like that. He was shocked. So he told him, he's not finished. Who's the principal? Who did you speak to? So he told him. He couldn't understand why is he interested in something like that? I was Nishkin Yom Kippur, Nishkin Shabbat, nothing. So there he was on his way. They both they part. He goes his direction. He goes his direction. He comes home, and the next day he gets a call from the Manal that he should come bring his boy that he's accepted. He didn't ask any question. I shot it straight. That's what he's looking for. But the Yeshua is here. Why should he ask any question? Shidus? So he brought his son to Yeshiva. They registered him. He goes a day and 2 and 3. And all of a sudden, about a week into his man or so, just dawned upon him, just a minute. Whatever happened? Why the turnaround of events? Is it possible that this friar Yid, this Yid who's not Yom Kippur, the Shabbat, nothing, there's no, what kind of language could he, how could he approach, what would he say to them? Was not Zugang, is he had to speak some knowledge of Yeshua Talmud Chochem. He couldn't imagine. But then again, there was the coincidences too. He has no other way to explain it. So their paths crossed again. So he said, do you recall we were walking the street and I looked depressed? He asked me, why am I depressed? I told you, did you ever do anything about that? He said, absolutely. I cooked some wonders. So what did you do? He said, I went right to that Manal. You went to him? What did you tell him? He said, I told him that 20 years ago, my father took me to yeshiva, and the Manal said I'm not up to par. That's why I am what I am today. The third story, Rabban, the big guy in Rabban, Yeshiva in Lakewood, so he said that why is it, he says, that raising money for yeshiva is not enough. That's their profession, but even the rabbis, the Rosh Yeshiva himself, he has to take and leave over close to Gemara, and he has to pick up and travel and vulgar and be in Golos in exile. He said, because, you're dealing with neshamas. He says, and sometimes, unwittingly, you make a decision that affects the bacher's life. So it's like, it's like you're a shoygig, it's unintentional, so you have to go into Golos. Finally, Saul Quinn, who was a Nal of Torah for some 50 years, he had his Levaya, he had his son-in-law, he left it somewhere, there should be no hespedim, shouldn't be any eulogies whatsoever, only one thing, that he should, in his name, he should ask Mechila, Ein Adam Tzadik Boris, a person, it's not possible that you should live a life and you shouldn't somehow do some kind of averus. Certainly, he did more than one probably, he said, and being a now 50 years, he said, you made decisions which might have affected adversely a bacher's future. So to ask in his name, while the urn is right there, before they go over to Kfura, ask Mechila from anybody
that in any way he did something which might have adversely affected their lives. Mechani Brakah Shomer, Rasa Kosh Baruch Zakish Yisrael, Tzikot Mitzvah Shnemar, Anoichov is Matzvah Yavim Teriyat.